Welcome everyone to 3 Count Review. I am KO, aka Howard J. Dingers, and today I will be predicting the King of the Ring tournament. Now, I am a big sports fan, and I am a big wrestling fan. You put together a wrestling bracket, and I'm all in. I'm all here for it. I have to predict it. I'm a big March Madness guy, so what else am I supposed to do with this? So today I will be predicting the King of the Ring tournament that starts tonight on Monday Night Raw. Before we get into it, I want to mention a few people that I think have a legitimate chance. I'll mention everyone. I won't leave who I think is going to win out, because otherwise you'll be able to guess right away. Ricochet is an obvious one. He used to have a gimmick in the indies called King Ricochet, and I think he has what it takes to be in the main event picture, so I think Ricochet is an obvious choice. Drew McIntyre, he just has everything. He's the total package. He's tall, he's in shape, he has a great moveset, he's really good in the ring, and I think he could use this big push as well. Cedric Alexander, he's just really good in the ring. I don't think he's going to get it, but I think he could, and if they gave it to him, they really pushed him to the moon, it could really work. I think the crowd could really get behind him. Sami Zayn would be the perfect heel kind of guy. He would just be able to pull it off so well, the I'm better than you type of promo that comes with being a king. I think it would work really well. He would be one of the few guys in this that could wear the crown and the cape and have the scepter and all that stuff and just be phenomenal with it. Just getting the heel heat for looking ridiculous with that stuff on. Unfortunately, another one is Baron Corbin. I'm not a huge fan of Corbin, but again, like Sami Zayn, he'd be the perfect heel to wear the crown and the cape and the scepter. It would add to his long list of accolades that has become part of his entrance, and it would get him a lot of heel heat. I know I don't want it to happen, but it really could. King Corbin, I mean, once Vince hears that, it's all over. Kevin Owens could win this. I don't think his character needs it, but if they want to push him in that Stone Cold direction, Stone Cold won this tournament. So there is those similarities there. It would do wonders for him. It would be King of the Ring versus Best in the World. I think that could be very interesting too. Buddy Murphy, man. If I had my choice, Buddy Murphy would win this whole thing. Just clean sweep. Buddy Murphy is just fantastic. I'm fully on board with him. I was fully on board with him before his debut on SmackDown. He's just fantastic in the ring, and I think that match with Roman proved that he can hang with the best in WWE. Chad Gable, I think, would be another good one. Not as great as Sammy or Corbin, but I think that could work as well. And Andrade is the last one that I want to talk about. Andrade, a perfect heel guy that would look really good in a crown, to be honest. As some people have figured out already, King in Spanish means Rey, so he could walk around calling himself Rey Andrade, which would just further that Rey Mysterio feud. I think that would be really, really interesting. So without any further ado, let's predict the King of the Ring tournament 2019. We're going to start on the Raw side. We're going to go one round at a time. We'll go Raw, SmackDown, Raw, SmackDown. So to start off the Raw side, we have Cesaro versus Samoa Joe. And in my opinion, Samoa Joe is going to win this. This one's kind of a toss-up. They could do either of them based on who they face. This is a weird one because they're both heels. It kind of seems like they're pushing Joe a little bit towards slowly progressing into a babyface. So I think you have to protect him a little here. Give Joe the win. Ricochet versus Drew McIntyre next. And this one really could go either way because I want both of these guys to make it to the final. This is going to be a hell of a match. I'm going to go with Drew McIntyre. Cedric Alexander versus Sami Zayn. They've been jobbing out Sami Zayn the past few times. He's losing in under a minute every time. It's really sad to see. And I think they want a Drew McIntyre-Cedric Alexander rematch, so they might build to that. So Cedric. The Miz versus Baron Corbin, and I don't think Miz is getting one here. He has not been handled well ever since WrestleMania, but Baron Corbin can get that heel heat, so Baron Corbin's winning, and then that'll plant in the little fear of oh man, he might actually win this. Over to the SmackDown side, Kevin Owens versus Elias. Now this one is interesting. I think Shane's going to interfere on this one because it's Elias. You can either have Kevin overcome Elias here and win, or you can just have Shane screw over Kevin Owens in the first round. But I think you build that story, have Kevin beat Elias, even with the Shane interference in the first round. And then later, we'll get to Shane interfering in Kevin Owens in this tournament. Ali versus Buddy Murphy, which should be a fantastic match. I can't wait for that. But I have Buddy Murphy going heel to go face Kevin Owens, and I'm excited for that match as well. Chad Gable versus Shelton Benjamin. Not a match that I thought we'd see, but they did kind of build this. I think even if it was on YouTube videos, these two have been talking backstage, and it's a former tag team facing off. it'll be interesting, but I got Chad Gable going ahead on this one. And Apollo Crews versus Andrade. This match should be really good as well. I'm so excited for all the matches in this tournament, minus Miz and Baron Corbin. But I have Andrade going ahead of Apollo Crews here. They have plans for Andrade, it feels like. I really want them to do something with him because he is just fantastic. I just noticed that my hat looks like Finn Balor at SummerSlam. Second round now, going over to the Raw side. Samoa Joe versus Drew McIntyre. I have Drew McIntyre winning this. Like I said before, I think they want to build to there's a storyline here of Drew McIntyre and Cedric Alexander, so I think they want to build to that, which leads to the next match, Baron Corbin versus Cedric Alexander. I got Cedric winning, overcoming the big baddie Baron Corbin, and I think that's going to be great. Then on the SmackDown side, Kevin Owens versus Buddy Murphy. Like I said, going to be a fantastic match. Kevin Owens wins again. And then Andrade versus Chad Gable. Andrade wins. Sorry, Chad. In the semifinals on the Raw side, we have Drew McIntyre versus Cedric Alexander, and I don't think Cedric quite gets his yet. I think they want to build to Cedric eventually beating Drew, but I think Drew winning here builds even further to that, and eventually at some sort of pay-per-view, Cedric Alexander can beat Drew McIntyre in what could be a really good rivalry here. And on the SmackDown side, semifinals, Kevin Owens versus Andrade, and this could be a really good match too. I can't wait. This, again, I think is where Shane's going to try to interfere, but I think Kevin Owens is destined to make the finals of this tournament. So that leaves us with a finals of Drew McIntyre from Raw and Kevin Owens from SmackDown. And this, I believe, is where Shane McMahon finally cost Kevin Owens a match in the finals to get that heel heat to set up a Hell in a Cell match at Hell in a Cell. But yes, that means your winner and 2019 King of the Ring, according to my predictions, Drew McIntyre. I think, especially if they give this tournament like a Universal Championship reward, I think Drew McIntyre is the perfect guy to give that big push to. Drew McIntyre versus Seth Rollins could be a fantastic feud going after Clash of Champions, and Drew deserves it. He really does. He's been fantastic ever since he came back last year, and yeah, I think it's very excited. He could even have some sort of Braveheart moment where he like stomps on the crown, says he doesn't need that. He just wants the title. He just wants the shot. He just wants to be King of the Ring and to face Seth Rollins for that Universal Championship. I think Drew could do wonders with this gimmick. And that's my predictions for King of the Ring. I'll post my bracket up on Twitter later today so you guys can follow along, see how I do. My one big concern with this tournament, I hope they don't, unless it's Sami Zayn or Baron Corbin who wins this, which I don't think they will. There's a couple other people I think will win ahead. Like, I think Drew McIntyre, Ricochet, Buddy Murphy, or Andrade are really the big ones to win here. If Corbin or Sami wins, I want them to give them a crown and a scepter. But if anyone else wins, like if it's a babyface or anyone, I really don't want that gimmick. That gimmick has not worked the past few times they've tried to do it with Sheamus and Wade Barrett. It just hasn't worked. So I really hope they don't try to force that in. I'm worried that they will, but if they don't do that, this tournament will be a success no matter what. So I'm super excited for this. Thank you for watching. Those were my predictions for King of the Ring 2019. Let me know your predictions down in the comments below. Give the video a like. If you like the videos, click the subscribe button. Thank you for watching, and I will see you for the next 3-count review.
Pulling up strong, I'm near at least one. I might be too on. Wishing inside I could feel so numb. Oh, now that you're gone away, you feel it in the night. You want what's underneath. It's alright, no more lies. Can't deny I miss your love.